Influence is earned. Influence is leadership. Now you're the leader of your class, okay? The students see you as the leader of the class. You are the one that's going to take them through the trajectory of this entire training footprint. Now ultimately as a leader, you see more and you see before the rest of the persons that are following you, in this case the students. Now, how do I put this into practical application? Simple. I can tell you definitively, if you come from a 172 GA background into a type rating, you're going to have issues with energy management, flows, non-normal procedures because you're not familiar with having a memory item followed by OEB, followed by ECAM action, followed by QRH, followed by FCOM. You probably don't even know what QRH means, right? There's all these gaps that are going to have to be filled. And the same is true in any other jet. Military pilots, very good stick and rudder. They're flying in a single seat by themselves. Remember, you're not wearing a knee board anymore, and you're not responsible for communicating, aviating, navigating, and communicating all on your own. That's not how this goes in a crew environment. If you come from a corporate jet where the engines are mounted on the tail, you're probably going to have some challenge on the stall recovery because thrust application on a tail-mounted engine doesn't produce the thrust vector effect of the engines mounted under the wing that I would expect on, say, a Boeing or an Airbus type product. And so you can start to see, based on their background, this is where you're likely to have issues in training, and I know that before they even know that, and as the leadership role of the classroom, it's my job to know that. The lesson is on this generator line contactor and the fact that when it's open, it illuminates a fault light on the overhead panel. The oral question is, what causes the fault light to illuminate? The answer is that the generator line contactor is open. This is a whole lesson we can talk about. Is this my priority? No. I do not care about any of this if nobody's paying attention. You can forget about the generator and the fault light and the GLC and all this nonsense. Step one, forget the lesson. Connection. I have to connect. Translation, I need their attention. I need them to be receptive. That's where my attention is first, is getting them to pay attention. What's my job is to meet people where they are. This is so critical. This is so huge. My role is to meet people where they are. It is not to expect them to come to me. Remember at the start of this, type rating training is an uphill climb, okay? And here's your student, and here's the instructor. My role is not to have this person meet me where I am. My job as the instructor is to get off of here and me go here and meet them where they are and make the climb together. This is not a student trait. This is a human trait. And you fall into the category of being a human, okay? You cannot forget this. So it's very easy for me to know what the student desires or needs because I'm a human like them, and it's the same thing that I would desire or need. And what I would love is for me to be met where I am, not from somebody to expect me to get to where they're going. And students that do not progress, they haven't had the needed reps because they haven't felt comfortable because the instructor set a culture and an environment where they can't progress because the instructor makes them wrong. They don't make it an educational experience, they make it an examining experience. I hear a lot of people say they have to perform, you know, we're not teaching them how to change tires here, we're flying airplanes. I get all that, okay? Hear me out on something for a second. They need to feel safe to do it wrong. You can do the stall and you can mess it up. You can do the V1 cut and mess it up, the reject and mess it up. Can you mess it up forever? Of course not. Obviously not. However, today is not check ride day. Today is training day. The tolerances start to tighten and tighten and tighten. And here at the end, you should be at the level of proficiency, but guess what? They will be because they've had all of this time to engage in many reps. Your students elevate up through reps. This comes in engagement, which if the industry as a whole adopted just this one piece, that would suffice to get things going in a better direction. Let's say that we're delivering a lesson on the electrics. I am not going to deliver the lesson until there is a connection. A lot of people, what they do, they're so focused on the lesson. And we see this in the form of click, 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 CBT, click, 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 get through it. You're more concerned about getting through material than connecting with anybody. I can tell you for certain, I am more concerned with connecting with people than I am getting through any of this presentation. Do not prioritize a lesson over connection. And the reason that is the case is because if you're not connecting with the person, your lesson doesn't matter.